We need to look for somewhere to cross.
Where are you? Oh, there!
Oh, there! Wait!
Oh, Vardy! Vardy! Come back to me!
Stay down!
Here you are. Good day. My name is Rebecca Hardgrave. How may I help you?
Are you the one who's attracting the wolves?
Wolves? What wolves? Who are you exactly?
I'm Antea Duarte. This is Red McWraith. We're Banishers. Do you know what that means?
Banishers? That means you can speak to the living on behalf of the dead.
That's part of it, yes. Why, do you have someone in mind?
Ferdinando Miller. My Fardy. Death parted us, but my love is strong. I came back for him. I love him so, but not once has he come to see me. I must know why.
How did you meet him?
'Twas market day. I'll never forget it. It was rich, exotic, an abundance of treasures from across the known world. I saw him through the crowd. Our eyes met. I didn't know it then, but I was meeting the love of my life. I could not admit it to myself, not at first, but I had to have him. And in the end, I did.
There's no delicate way to ask this, I'm afraid. How did you die?
We left civilization in New Eden town for the cold desert of Fort Jericho. The path was steep and rough, and we were greatly burdened. It was hell, but we walked through it together. As we walked, I fell into a daze. I remember little after that. A pain that grew, a great, uncontrollable tremor. Fatigue, a deathly fatigue. Fardy was at my side as ever. He held my hand, bade me sleep. When I opened my eyes, I was here, alone.
New Eden's a big place. Where can we find him?
We were on our way to Fort Jericho. We were to open a store together. It was to be a new beginning for us both. Together. Yet he's there, alone.
If you know where he is, why not just go there?
I've tried. At first I was able to visit him in the quiet as he slept. I'd watch over him. But now, something hinders me. I cannot reach him. I must know that he is well.
We have to go now.
Find him, please.
Ask for help if you need it.
Never-ending spectres. The fort will run out of powder.
These pests don't spring from nowhere. I have another in sight. That's the place. Fill in the hole. Bury them all.
That should buy the fort a little time.
Let's hope it's not too late for the famous Mrs. Priest.
Stuck.
Looks like you're walking.
Looks like.
I wonder how many there are in the fort.
Fewer by the day, I'll wager. Still, better to be inside than out.
Ready and waiting. The mountain is awash with spectres.
Did the foraging party really come this way?
That would explain why they haven't returned.
Something's nearby.
Where is it?
I feel something.
Help us, please! We have a survivor! Come!
This one's not been dead long.
Let's hope he stays that way. Looks like they were taken by surprise. Could this be what's drawn on the map?
They never learn, do they? Make a run for it!
More fun.
You shouldn't stay in there.
Hurry! She's being overrun! Come on!
boat is shot!
Behind you!
Throwing tantrums.
I'm fine. Forcing.
A timely arrival. You'll be Haskell's Banishers. Thank you. Thank you both.
You can see me.
Clear as day, just as I can see. This is my husband. I am Helen Priest.
Antea Duarte. This is my partner, Red McGrath.
It is rare that the living can see the lingering dead.
All I know is one day I woke after 7 long years of grief, and my Sebastian was back. It was as if my prayers had at last been answered. That was enough for me.
In times of danger, I am duty-bound to protect the woman I love. You understand?
What was it like for you? After my own death, I floated outside of time without knowing what was happening to me.
Floating outside of time? Yes, that's exactly it.
True love finds a way. That's all that matters.
We found the rest of your men outside. They're gone. I'm sorry.
We were overrun. I sent Matthews and Williams with the supplies to race for the hoist.
This was a risky expedition. But Helen had no choice. If the survivors were to rely on Pennington alone, the fort would have already fallen.
I suspect that's so. Sometimes difficult choices must be made. That's courage.
All the courage in the world will be worthless if those in command won't match it.
Pennington did this while monsters relentless besieged the fort. But make no mistake, these men's deaths are on the captain's conscience. If he has one.
How so?
7 years ago, a plague came to New Eden. Pennington quarantined the sick in the mines, walled them up. They were dark times. Hard times. None knew what the morrow would bring. We all lost much. Too much. As second in command, Sebastian volunteered to stay. Walled in with the others, he held out the longest. He died a hero. And now the Forsaken are rising. They demand revenge.
Who would blame them? I watched them die. Soldiers and miners, sick and hungry, begging for help they knew would never come.
Captain Pennington has much blood on his hands.
I'm sorry. You've been through a lot.
We have. We are, and will persist till we prevail.
We should get back to the fort. We will escort you.
I'm afraid I locked us in when I broke the latch.
If there's a way out, we'll find it. as pie.
I bet you can't cook.
Impressive. You Banishers are quite something.
That's all her. I'm just the help.
A Banisher marched with my father's infantry. Good for morale, he said.
Soldiers usually carry their ghosts with them. War is good for our business.
I take it that's how you met. I know a soldier when I see him fight.
I never worked for the army, but something like that.
We'll come back for you, my friend.
My sympathies.
This is locked from the other side.
This for 2 miserable powder boxes. How low has Pennington brought us?
If you didn't like him, why did you follow him?
I followed his reputation, but he's no longer the same man.
What would you do in his place?
I'm doing it. He sits behind his walls waiting for them to fall, and I'm out here fighting to live. We're fighting for our lives. The captain is in the way.
These internal conflicts are a risk for the stability of the fort.
A necessary risk for the survival of all. But I agree. This must end. White! Open the gates!
Priests! What are you lot waiting for? Open the gates!
Go talk to Pennington. Make him understand, if you can.
Where can I find him?
He hides in his office. You'll find him there.
Good to see you living,
other, sir.
Williams.
Keep it
and
short.
The other
I'm
chap.
on duty.
Matthews. We were ambushed. They fell.
May God have mercy on their souls.
There's ammo in the elevator. Send Shepard and Abbott to bring it back.
Anything to report?
Had any good scuttle lately?
I'd spill it if I have it, but be quick. I'm busy.
Did you know Sebastian Priest?
I surely did. Good man, hell of a soldier. Had kingly ideals, but did not strut like a crow in the gutter. Hero is an ill-used tag, oft misassigned. But Lieutenant Priest was a hero, and a proper one at that.
What think you now of Helen Priest?
Wow, she's like her husband, only yet better. Command is in her blood. She reminds me of my old mum. The Queen of Topsfield Common, we used to call her. Born to give orders, she was, and you dare not disobey.
We've known an officer or three, you and me. So, tell me about the captain.
In nigh on 20 years' service, I've not met a commander more efficient, nor one so relentless. Ever a pain in the ass, aye. But a good one. But that was then, and this is now. He's not the man he was. Still a pain in the arse, mind.
How are folk doing? Fighting fit?
Well, they're farmers, most of them. Shopkeepers, house servants, hunters. We've one old soldier, but he's sick. Them who stand dead on their feet. Fighting fit, my arse. But we hold against the hordes of the dead. For now, leastways. The fight's not fair. That's it.
Life's unfair. Armour up.
Right, I used to think that too. Mind you, I'm not sure there's enough armor left.
As you were, soldier.
Grey weather, as usual.
Greetings. Welcome to Ingersoll's General Store. I'm Bathsheba Ingersoll, the owner. What can I get you? A comb, perhaps?
A comb. Very funny. Red McCraith, and pleased to meet you.
I met your friend Miss Duarte briefly in New Eden Town. I'm so sorry for your loss. She seemed a vibrant and resolute young woman.
And she seemed eager to leave town as quickly as possible.
The shopkeeper must hear everything that goes on. Tell me something interesting. Just between us.
You assume me to be a gossip monger. What do you wish to know?
More generally, how fares Fort Jericho?
Well, it's cold. Folk are hungry more often than not. I've little to tell you won't hear from someone else. But Ingersoll's is open, so all is well with me.
What can you tell me about Helen Priest?
I like her, though she's impetuous. Terse, even. She fancies herself a leader, when she should know her place, and that place is below the captain. Thinking about it, no, I don't think I do like her.
What can you tell me about Captain Pennington?
He lets me trade. I like the man. He says Ingersoll's store is good for the fort. I very much agree.
Tell me about your store. Tell me about you.
The original Ingersoll's in Boston was grand and fine, but it burned in the North Square fire of '91. We moved to New Eden with Nathaniel. But before Natty could return home, my husband died. Then came the curse. And now here we are. Welcome to Ingersoll's of Fort Jericho.
You never wanted to do anything else?
My husband was prosperous and affluent. I was young and clever. We made an excellent match. He taught me everything I know. The store is my business. My legacy. My story. It is who I am. I don't like running a store. I love it.
Shall we trade?
I rather think we should, sir. What interests you?
I must take my leave.
And may God go with you.
No Ferdinando here.
Good day, sir. Nathaniel Sather at your service. What can I do for you?
That Mr. Sather remains to be seen. Red McCraith, by the way, the Banisher. You have, as my granny would say, the power to talk the back legs off a two-footed donkey. But I bet you listen too. What do you hear hereabouts?
Oh, little of interest. Pennington has signed John Rumble to the train band, which means nothing at all to me. I believe John was down the flooded mine. That can't have been fun. Maybe the militia will be good for him.
Huh? You never know who'll take to soldiering.
You say that, and I defer to your experience, but I'm sure it's not for me.
More generally, how fares Fort Jericho?
It's cold. Our clothes are inelegant, the walls are drab. There's no music, no conviviality. There's no gaiety. Boston isn't much of a city, but I miss it. I wonder what I could make of this place were I allowed.
You can paint a turnip red, but it still won't be an apple.
True, but stack enough red-painted turnips about the place, and even the dour Scotsman shall surely crack a smile.
What do you think of Helen Priest, then?
I'd put her in charge if I could. She's bright, trustworthy, thinks for herself. She's not married to old doctrine. People here are desperate. They're sick, they need courage. And Helen Priest fears nothing.
What can you tell me about Captain Pennington?
The captain? I've not a single bad word to say about that dismally antiquated, superannuated old man. His depth of experience is inspiring, although I shudder to think what those experiences have done to him. But we should respect our elders. We should listen to their point of view, and then ignore it as we look to the future.
You seem a chatty fella.
We see precious few new faces around here. You'll forgive me if I use you for fresh conversation.
Tell me about yourself. Share your business. Tell me what's important to you.
I'm from Boston. I love it very much. So much more lively. A fine mix of conviviality and anonymity. I miss that life. The music. The colour and the splendour. The dance of commerce. The flower sellers' forget-me-nots. Oh, the forget-me-nots. I very much wish to go home.
What are you doing here then?
I'm the shop boy. When the store moves, I move with it. Old man Ingersoll opened up a general store in Boston back in '78. Then he married Bathsheba. I came with them to New Eden intending to quickly return, but Mr. Ingersoll died. I extended my stay. They took me on when I was just a boy. I've no family. All I have is my Thomas, my closest friend.
I must go. Thank you for your time.
Take care, and mention it not.
Captain Pennington.
No time, no way out. No hope, no way in. No time at all.
Captain Pennington, sir.
Mr. McWraith, you live.
There's work to be done.
Work? You had work, a mission. To bring one last glimmer of hope, to gladden our hearts before the pit takes us all.
You secretive bastards haven't helped.
The job is done. There's no more hope and little enough time. All that remains is the pit. Welcome to the last stand, McWraith. Welcome to the end.
I wouldn't surrender just yet, Captain. I found Helen Priest. We brought supplies.
A waste of effort on both accounts.
Hardly. We saved a life. Resupplied, you may save more.
For the sake of what? For the sake of days, a week perhaps? You've saved no one. You've prolonged the terror. The dead will come. Our throats will feel their bony fingers soon enough. The end is inevitable.
It is if you will not act. You're the officer, take command. Surely you can't intend to do nothing.
You sound like Priest. She has changed. Her return to Fort Jericho has made her impulsive, irrational, quarrelsome. I believe she did not fully grieve her husband's loss. Returning to the scene has, it seems, reopened the wound. It festers. She'll join the lieutenant soon enough. When our defences crumble at the last, the pit shall take us all.
As the commanding officer, you must know all the local lumps and bumps.
The lumps and bumps can smooth themselves. I have other priorities.
Tell me more about yourself and your career.
I did my duty and had the fortune to return alive. That's all. We who are intimate with war tell no tales.
I thought that too. I was wrong. Silence allowed my ghosts to prosper. 'Tis good to tell our stories.
If ever I do tell, I'll not be telling you, son.
Why did you come to New Eden, Captain? Why here?
Far from the many wars we fight, you mean? I'd shot enough Frenchmen and more than enough Indians.
Did no one come with you?
Keep to your business, son, not mine.
It's just, there's a portrait hanging on the wall. A family.
I had a wife and daughter once. I'll not entertain you with their story.
Fair to say your tactical retreat from New Eden town has not served you.
The town was doomed to fall to the curse. We disagreed on everything. There was nothing left to do but leave. We did not know there'd be no escape. No Smith gathered the board and the governor let the affair flock to him. We never agreed on anything in the first place.
The new Smiths are holed up in the woods, planning soon to leave for Boston.
They may leave for Boston, but the curse will follow.
The curse will follow until their backs are against the wall. How do things stand, Captain, as you see them? Little has changed. The dead flood from the mines. We shoot them down and gain respite. Soon, the onslaught begins anew. The clock of our extinction ticks on towards the hour. We may no more defeat the dead than we may vanquish the ocean waves.
Folk have little enough hope, and you're leading them further into the darkness.
I've heard the whispers, the murmurs, the plotting from the shadows. We hold till the last. We resist, till retribution rises from the pit and drags us all to hell.
Well, that's something worth waiting for.
I fail to see the appeal of this slow agony.
How unfortunate. Because thanks to you, and the time you bought us, the agony will be all the slower.
Permission to take my leave, Captain.
And if I refuse it?
Are you trying to recruit me, Captain? Do you really think I'd take the King's shilling?
If I were to offer enough shillings, I'm sure of it. I need no new lieutenants. But if you wish, you may stay. This key unlocks the unused watchtower. You'll bill it while you're here.
Empty. His absence gave me substance. I clung to it. Useless, really. My husband died in the dark with nothing but my handkerchief to soothe his last moments. And now, he's back. If each worthwhile thing in life is to be lived, and then when it is gone, to be grieved, then what now? I have to believe our love is enough.
Love is hard work. We are bound to grieve all the different versions of ourselves. And theirs.
I try to hold him and cannot. It taunts me. It was almost easier when he was gone.
All things are fleeting. Gaze upon the ghost you love and you can't deny it, bitter though the thought may be.
Yes, 'tis a blessing and a curse, yet against all reason, we persist. Let us make the most of time remaining.
Where do we go?
There is a second tunnel into the mines. The entryway was walled shut during the quarantine. Getting there will not be easy, but the barricade should fall without too much difficulty. After that, who knows?
Underground again. Wonderful.
If it soothes you, I too am taking a significant risk. The captain has a penchant for locking people up and leaving them to rot. Some years ago in New Eden town, the captain locked up an innocent woman. A fate I wish to avoid.
We should go.
Then it's agreed. When you're ready, you'll investigate the mines. Take the hoist to the waterfall, near the outpost you first found me. From there, it is not far to the tunnel. Keep your wits and all your luck about you.
An innocent woman jailed.
It's barbaric. An officer must be just, or else it all unravels.
Helen is right. The truth lies down there, somewhere. This is no coincidence. This all connects back to the curse.
I mean, as wolf pelts go, it's pretty. But I've more than enough of them. Folk in Boston are not short of wolf pelt. What do I do with this?
You're a merchant. Sell it.
I'd sell sunshine to the Spanish, but that is not the problem. We've more than enough wolf. Bring me a bear, and we'll talk.
A bear?
I could get 20 pieces of 8 for a bear pelt, if it were in good condition. I'll pay you half that.
Half of 40 is 20. I'm the one risking my life out there. I'll take the 20.
It's a fabulous plan, and I'm so pleased you thought of it.
Rebecca had a plan for herself and Ferdinando. Look for a store.
Good day to you, Miss.
Miss? I'm the hunter Flora Abbott, and I never miss. You?
'Tis rare, but I've been known to miss. Red McCraith, Banisher.
I heard about you when you first arrived. Is your friend not with you?
She died. She's with me in spirit.
Sad to hear it. I have nothing cleverer than that to say. If you need anything, well, I probably can't help.
What do you know? Tell me about your day-to-day.
If I did, would you listen?
How are you yourself?
I do my work and do it well. The few notice.
What can you tell me about Helen Priest?
Not my favorite person, if I'm honest, but in the fight against the dead, she's an asset.
Talk to me of Captain Pennington.
I've worked for worse. I'm able and I give him no trouble. In return, he makes sure I get none. He respects me. That makes him an excellent judge of character. Don't you think?
So you hunt for the fort? Are you part of the train band?
I serve. In my way. Before the curse, I traded with the people of New Eden. Meat and fur, bartered for whatever they had that I needed.
How did you end up in New Eden? You won't mind me saying that you're not like most people here.
And yet, I am a New Englander. Born on a farm not far from Boston, but always preferred the wild. So I came to New Eden. In time, I came to love it. It's cursed, and I'm still here, aren't I?
I'll take my leave of you, Flora.
I'll not stop you.
You've saved our sorry asses, sir. Of that, there's no doubt. You've earned us a rare bit of rest, and that comes most welcome.
You all right, soldier? You look drop dead weary.
The dead don't sleep, do they? And me being asleep won't stop 'em coming.
Can no one take your shift?
We're short-handed as it is. Besides, I can rest and keep watch at the same time. Old soldier trick.
All bullshit aside, what's going on?
Oh, what do you care? I have my problems and you have yours, so let me handle myself. I ain't important, and I don't deserve no help. Wasted time helping me anyway.
You heard the man. He wants no help. I see no reason to force it on him. For now, at least.
Peaceful watch to you.
This is pointless.
Good day to you.
Good day, mate. You Pennington's reinforcements?
Red McCraith, the Banisher. Sorry to disappoint.
Nah, too bad. We could use a fellow like you. Theodore Shepherd, marksman, and there are none better. I teach some of the lads here. Perhaps we could show you a thing or two.
I shoot well enough, thinking you. Tell me about your world.
Which bit?
How about you tell me more about yourself?
Mate, all you need to know is I'm the finest shot this side of the wide blue sea. Priest and Pennington are too busy fighting to see it.
Helen Priest, tell me how she fits in your world.
Our new friend is waiting for us. Spectral writing on the wall. See for yourself. Our ghost does not seek revenge. That makes things easier.
Joshua Gouge, gone too soon.
What's it going to say? Joshua Gouge outstayed his welcome. He wants us to follow him. Over here. Joshua looks kindly on Andrew. What were they to each other?
Brothers in arms, man. You never feel as close to a mate as when you fight by his side. You fight for the man beside you, not for money, not for a king. For your mate.
You have friends from the war. First I've heard of them.
They lost contact. Maybe when this is over, I'll look them up. Most young men are taught to dream of war. And when they get there, they dream of home. And they're not busy fighting and dying, that is.
The ghost has something to show us.
Reveal yourself!
I can...
Is that the sound of a corpse cocking its gun? There's more of them.
Think you could take on a ghost?
Look out!
Get lost, won't you?
It's coming for you. Incoming!
past linger here.
Shite! To arms! To arms! They waylay us!
The right flank! Hold them off!
Josh! Behind you!
Goddamn blustering cold! Help me!
Joshua! Oh!
Nice to meet you again, Joshua.
You want us to help Andrew White give up his guilt and get on with his life. Am I right?
Oh, you died fighting by his side. Is that why he feels guilty? Is this why you can't speak? Oh, I've been there. I'll do everything I can to help.
If help we can.
Only these two could talk to each other.
Andrew needs to start talking. As long as he swallows his guilt, nothing will change. There's a wall between these two, and we must knock it down.
I may be able to do that. Andrew failed to save his friend and blames himself for it.
Guilt is normal, but you must let it go.
I had claw marks on it.
None of this explains what binds the ghost here.
Back already?
Too soon. We don't have the full picture yet.
I'll take my leave of you, Flora.
I'll not stop you.
Anything to report?
I don't usually bring it up, but I was a soldier too.
Thought as much. Where'd you fight?
Well, first I fought my way across half the Highlands. Later I'd fight wherever my paymaster sent me. Bavaria, Bohemia, Austria.
What's your war story then? We all have one.
In a tavern in Paris, with three of my comrades, a Turkman stood us drinks and offered us work, fighting for the Ottomans against the Viennese, and the Poles, the Prussians, and whoever else. And the pay was good, a villa each in Cyprus and slaves all of our own. I said I'd not have slaves and I'd not turn my coat. I will, said my friend Lucas, but I'll free the slaves. Mar shook his hand and wished him well. 9 months later, my band ambushed a Turkish emissary on escort to Venice. I found Lucas by the side of the road. I buried him where he fell.
Well, probably wasn't you that shot him, was it? Hard to know, I suppose. But you know what never leaves? The smell. That sickening, coppery vapour rising as a man's life pools beneath him. For all those brave young boys we send off in search of glory, that stink is their rude awakening.
Easier to die with than live with, perhaps.
Perhaps. Perhaps not. But come. Blood soaks away. Let's not dwell upon the past and men long gone.
You're not like this, but we must speak of Joshua.
Leave it be. In the past, where it belongs.
Your past is very much present. Your friend Joshua has a message for you.
He wants to take revenge. I know it.
You're no wrong. He wants to give you freedom. He never blamed you. You blamed yourself.
Why would he not seek revenge? He's due it.
He doesn't see it that way.
I shot him. I was trying to save him and I shot him.
Hold on. How did this happen?
We were skirmishing in the forest. 2 Indian fellas bore down on Joshua. Dropped one, but the other had him cold. I was 20 yards away. I raised my musket, pulled the trigger. Bullet went straight through his skull.
Did you admit it later? I mean, no one would have thought the worst of you. A battle like that, well, shite happens.
Shite happens to shite soldiers. I said nothing. I wanted it over. I want it over. I don't want to live. I want to die. Please. Please. Put me out of my misery.
I am duty-bound to protect the living from the dead. Sometimes too from themselves. You can't see it now, but you can learn to live with this. Talk about it. Accept it. You'll come to the point where it stops defining your life and you can set about living in the time you have left.
No. You survived. Now you must live.
Joshua? Is that you? It cannot be. I saw you dead.
It is, old friend. I've tried for the longest time to speak to you, but your guilt took my voice. You must live in peace.
I have not the right. I shot you. I was sure my aim was good, but it was not. I shot you.
It was an accident, Andrew. You tried to save me. You failed, but you may make amends. Until you give yourself peace, I cannot have mine. Save me, Andrew, save me. Give yourself peace and save me.
Joshua, you have spoken. Andrew, you heard. It's time to end the story.
Joshua Gouge, you've lingered in silence for too long. You can go.
I can. Thank you, Banishers. Thank you, Andrew.
Time to say goodbye, boys.
I'm sorry, my friend. I've carried the weight of your death as far as I can.
The debt, if any, is paid. Live your life.
Farewell, Joshua. You've done your duty and more.
Farewell, old friend.
You have been here.
good for nothing after that. Thanks for